suggest we wait for 1-2 more minutes until other participants join. In the meantime, I would like to share a warm welcome to our webinar, Connect, Collaborate, Innovate, which is organized by the AI On Demand platform for EU-funded projects that work with artificial intelligence or related technologies to explore how AI On Demand can serve as a channel for enhancing the visibility, accessibility, and impact of your projects in the European AI ecosystem. So I invite you to use the chat and say hello. Let us know where you are watching us from. Let us know what projects you are representing. Feel free to interact with each other and with the panelists. My name is Loredana Bucceneanu. I'm a project manager at the European Digital SME Alliance, and I'm leading the engagement efforts with the innovation research ecosystem of the AI On Demand platform. And together with me today are Joanna Martinera, European project consultant and communication manager at LOBA. She leads the communication efforts of the platform together with her team. We also have Rafael Tolosana Calasanz, associate professor at the computer science department at the Universidad de Zaragoza. And he's part of the technical team that ensures the maintenance and development of the AI On Demand platform. And last but not least, we have Claudio Lazo. He's a digital policy and innovation researcher at TNO Netherlands. He's an ecosystem mapping lead for the Vision project, and we will learn about this initiative during our webinar today. So we have a full agenda lined up, starting with an overview of the AI On Demand platform, where we will showcase how to leverage this infrastructure to ensure that the outcomes of your projects are not only shared widely, but are also utilized to drive further innovation and development. And we will close with a presentation of a best practice initiative aimed at mapping the AI ecosystem and community in Europe. So like I mentioned, I encourage you to actively participate, asking questions and sharing your thoughts in the chat. We aim to have a collaborative environment with this webinar where we can learn from each other and we understand each other's needs and collaboration possibilities. Maybe before we start, I would like to hear from you and know what you expect from AI On Demand platform. So I will share a quiz. Let me find the quiz. So I'm going to launch this quiz and I'm going to give it a few minutes. Well, not a few minutes, 1 minute maybe for you to reply. So please select which of the 3 options here it's, let's say, relevant for you in terms of expectations from the AI On Demand platform. Okay, I have a few answers already. And they keep changing. Okay, I see that the platform that gives access to resources to develop AI services and products, that's among the most selected. So I will. Okay, 22 of 24 participants answered. So I will end the poll here. Thank you very much. This is very insightful for us. Now I'll give the floor to my colleague Rafael to share with you about the resources and support available on the platform to help you in the process of exploitation of project results. Please,
Thank
Rafael.
you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. So let me share if I can find it. Okay. I cannot find it now. Sorry about that.
It's
I
okay.
I cannot find the screen. Interesting. What can you see now?
Uh, Not the presentation, just
Can
like a print screen or something of the time and
can you
dates.
see those lights or not?
No, 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 not
Oh
yet.
my gosh. So maybe I should quit. I don't know how to wait. I will enter. Sorry about that. I will enter again
No problem.
if I can. My gosh.
Okay, let's wait for 1 minute for Rafael to reconnect. In the meantime, please feel free to let us know which project you are representing. We would love to meet you, to know what kind of interest you have, especially if you've been in touch with AI on Demand platform before. And feel free to share any kind of feedback to also support us in understanding what are your needs and interests. Do you still have the same issue, Rafael?
Yes, it seems so. I don't know why.
We see it.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, so there is a bug, but I don't know how it happened. Okay, now you can see the full screen.
Yes.
Oh, great. Sorry about that. Okay, so the idea of my talk here is to give an overview of the AI on demand platform from a generic perspective and try to explain also the options that we have considered for you to engage with it. So we can see that the AI for Europe project is designing and developing the AI on demand platform. So the AI on demand platform is designed and implemented for the community. It's a community-driven platform. So the idea is that all the outcomes of European research are somehow stored, preserved in the AI on demand, and sharing is not just enough. In order to reuse, to leverage that knowledge, we also have the other pillar, which is the experimentation pillar. So the idea is that we preserve knowledge. We can also encourage people to reuse that knowledge. So there is a pillar for experimenting that. And then the third pillar of the AI on demand is we offer an identity management service that allows you to sign on the platform only once with the credentials of your institution. So that simplifies the integration of different applications and so on. So the idea, for instance, in like you do in Google, you sign on in Google, and then you can exploit different applications from the Google suite. So briefly, the AI on demand architecture can be seen with these levels. So we have different types of users. It's designed for researchers, educators, and students. And we have different interfaces to access that. We have the website, then we have services, and then we have application programming interfaces for programmers. And then you can access the metadata catalog, which is the component that stores all the information, and you can consult it, query it. Then we have the different resources, hardware resources that you can use, so you can even share your own resources, and there will be some rules to specify how the resources will be controlled. So in more detail, this is the three pillars that I mentioned. Here we have the metadata catalog, then we have the experimentation part and the identity management service. So the idea of the metadata catalog is to not only to let you store your AI resources, but also, which is by AI resources, we understand data sets, model experiments, and everything that could be relevant for AI. So we also considered different connectors to relevant repositories, external repositories, that are relevant for AI. So for instance, we have connectors with Zenodo, OpenML, and Hugging Face, and we retrieve periodically all this information there. So currently the metadata catalog already stores over 500,000 AI resources. Most of them are data sets, but also AI models and experiments. So in a different perspective, so we have the web portal, we have a front end, which is called My Library, that lets you search, query all the AI resources that are stored in the metadata catalog. We are about to release a software development kit intended for Python. So Python programmers can install it and then they can use it. It's a very simple interface. It's designed just to overcome the complexities of interacting with the raw API, the application programming interface of the metadata catalog. So with that, you can easily integrate the metadata catalog and the experimentation service within the Python code. Well, the experimentation service will come later. For now, the release that we're going to make is just about the interaction with the catalog. And then we also have services with advanced interfaces to support experimentation that we are working on them. It's important to note that the AI on demand platform is designed to be decentralized in the sense that there will be different nodes across Europe. Some of them we will call them root nodes that have the core functionality, which includes the metadata catalog, includes the front ends for that, then the identity management service, and also the experimentation service. But we also consider leaf nodes that are thematic nodes around similar topics of AI. For instance, robotics can also have their own node, or anybody in AI can have their own leaf node. But the idea is that you can preserve your own identity. You don't, if you want to engage with the AI on demand, you don't have to lose your own signs and your own identity, right? So that's one way of doing that. And we also consider external resources providing data and computing to be integrated. So the identity management service is based on Keycloak, and it also maps with the EGI check-in component. And this it's really interesting because it enables you to use your registration is simplified. You just use your credentials from your university or your research institution, and then it's like you are accessing your own infrastructure or your own premises in your institution. And then, as I said before, you just log in once, and then you can access all the services and applications in the system. The metadata catalog has standard interfaces. Currently, it's using a technology which is called Swagger. And Swagger interface is well known, and it provides documentation. And so if you're interested in having a look, you can see the URL here, api.aiod.eu. And it's a quite pretty standard way of showing and implementing things. So one of the interesting, most sophisticated services that we're building on is Rail. So Rail is an experimentation service. We are working on improving the interface and providing more functionality. But the idea is that a researcher that is having their own experiments and they're coding that with, for instance, with Python in the machine, they can come to the on-demand platform through Rail, and they can upload their code to Rail in different ways. But the idea is that you don't have to suffer to adapt to a new tool. The idea is that, for instance, you can provide GitHub code, and then Rail will try to work for you and try to integrate that within the on-demand platform so that you can build an out-of-the-box experiment. That's the main idea of that. And Rail also, it's integrated with the metadata catalog and other services, so you can query and find data sets and so on. You can also upload your data sets and decide that the data set will be uploaded to Zenodo or Hugging Face. This is a bit the architecture. There is a front end in Rail, there is a back end, and it interacts with Rihanna. So in order to alleviate the heterogeneity of the different hardware infrastructures available. So we're using Rihanna. So the Rail is interacting with Rihanna to launch the experiments, and you can send it to different, you can target that to different hardware infrastructures. The other experimental tool that we have is a builder. A builder has a long experience and is a very mature product. A builder, it's well designed for creating experiment pipelines with combining hybrid models. The characteristic is, in order to do that, you really need to adapt your knowledge to and your experiment to a builder, and that takes a bit of learning curve. But of course, once you know how to use that, you can really make sophisticated things. So importantly, how to engage with us. Okay, so the first thing that you can do is you can share your AI resources, your AI metadata, AI data sets, AI models, experiments, news, wherever you think it's convenient. So you can store that in the metadata catalog. The way to do that is through the software development kit, or you can also do that directly through the API. In the future, we plan to have a graphical interface to also do that. But we are thinking, for instance, in uploading like 1,000 elements. So you cannot just upload 1,000 elements one by one. So you really need to use an application programming interface for that. So the Python SDK will look something like that. So you can see here, for instance, in the datasets that there is a call here, aod.datasets.list, and so on. We have this kind of very simple interface to interface to abstract the API that you can see here in the middle. The other thing that you can do is you can leverage the core services of the on-demand to create your own services. So for instance, you say, okay, I don't like what the metadata catalog front end is looking like right now, and I'm going to create, I have a sophisticated idea and I want to create mine. So you can do that, and you can decide it to work for yourself, and you can also open it for the rest of the community. And once we have a more elaborated governance rules, we can also decide to integrate that as part of the core services of the infrastructure. So for instance, Rail or my library that I show you, they're examples of services that are leveraged on the core services so existing. There is something that is under development, which is very interesting, which is the sharing of computing resources. So for instance, you are an institution and you want to share for free, or just with some economical rules on that as well. You can share some hardware resources. Or imagine that I am participating in a conference and I want to run, and I want to participate on the evaluation of my experiments and reproducibility of my experiments, but there is a huge hardware dependency. My hardware is very unique, or the configuration of the hardware is very unique. It would take a lot of effort to replicate that. So I can share my computing resources within a controlled way, so that third-party researchers or reviewers can reproduce the experiments within my hardware. So that's a bit the idea that we're having. So this is also an option that we are considering. And recently, we're working on a research bundle, which is the installation of a research bundle for a local AOD. This is also an interesting, what's going on? What happened here? Can you see it still? Can you see me and hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can still see the
sorry.
presentation.
So,
No
sorry.
problem.
I don't know what's happening today with my laptop, with my computer. So the other thing is that you can create, as I was saying, local AOD installation, a node for yourself. So you can play. What is the advantage of that? So imagine that you are an institution that have privacy concerns. You cannot just share the resources, data sets, or wherever for privacy reasons to the general metadata catalog. So you can create your own copy, local copy, and you can play with the resources locally. And eventually, if you can decide to share that. That's the other idea that we are working on. And It's about to be finished. Just my library needs to be developed properly and deployed, and then we will be able to release that for everybody. And that's all for my part. Sorry for all the things and issues.
Thank you so much, Rafael. That was a very good overview to understand how other projects can take advantage of what is there already in AI on demand that can support the development of their results and also exploitation by other potential users that are on the platform. Our technical team is there to support. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop us a message. We will share an email where you can contact us. But in the meantime, I will give the floor to Joanna, our colleague, who will share about what communication and dissemination channels are available.
Thank you, Loredana. Hopefully, I will be able to find my presentation. Okay, I think you can see it, right? Okay.
Yes, we can see.
Perfect. Then good afternoon, everyone. I will be presenting the communication and dissemination services that are provided by the AI on Demand platform, so that you can understand how to share and maximize your project results. So starting with the basics, under our platform, we provide our great manual, also our logos that you can use every time you are making a communication or any joint communication that is related with the AI on demand. So through our brand manual, you will be able to see all the guidelines and specifications to use our logo. And we encourage the projects to use our trademark in case you would like to highlight that you are a member of our community. And we have the guidelines for you to use it properly under the brand manual. We also have provided in the platform a communication toolkit where you can find all the stationery material and all the promotional material that has been developed for the AI on demand. And every time we have a joint activity or you have an activity where you would like to mention the AI on demand or to represent also the platform, you can do so by using our materials. So as I mentioned, we have the promotional material as well, where that is composed by brochures, flyers, stickers, posters from the AI on demand. But going now to the juicy part, what really matters for you as a European project, we have several services, provide several services that you as part of the community, of the AI community, can leverage from. So we can support you in the dissemination of your own activities, of your own events, outcomes, and we can do so by having your requests made through an online form that I will be presenting in a couple of minutes. But the only disclaimer that we make is that any resource, any result, any event that you would like to communicate must be first uploaded in the AI on demand platform. So it has some connection with our platform and so that it will be easier for us to share it and to promote it as well. So how to make these requests? Well, first of all, after having thought of what you would like to promote and what you would like to disseminate in our platform, you start by uploading it under the AI on demand, preferably. This is not mandatory, of course. We can analyze it case by case, but we always suggest the projects to upload first the results in the platform to make our work easier as well. And after that, you can make a request, a communication request through the online form that we have, that we provide in the platform, and I will show you where you can find it. Currently, we are directing the user to an external form, to a Google form, but we are already working on creating an embedded form in the platform. But for now, you can use this online form, and after putting there your communication requests, we will assess this request, and if it's viable, if we think that we're able to promote it properly, then we will create a strategy for this promotion, a campaign, and we will implement this communication campaign. And we have several channels where we can do these campaigns. We have social media, press releases, email marketing, event organization, newsletter. And I will explain you how you can take advantage of each of these channels. So starting with our social media, we have two channels currently. We have LinkedIn and we have X. We also have a YouTube channel. And our community within these two channels is big. So we have already a strong number of followers. We also have, in terms of statistics, we also have a good number of people reach monthly, as well as a good number of impressions. So by showcasing, by promoting your results through our social media channels, you know that you will be able to reach a good amount of people. And there are two ways of having this promotion made in our channel. So either you mention the AI on Demand platform, and you can do so by using our handle, or, and in that case, we will reshare the publication, we will validate the content, and then reshare it. Or you can submit, as I mentioned before, you can submit a request through our online form, providing all the information that we need for this campaign. And for example, in case you would like to have your event promoted, and if you would like to have a live coverage of this event, you can always contact us through the communications email that I provide here in the presentation, and that Loredana will also share. And you can request for that live coverage. So you can send us the images and 1 or 2 sentences, just providing some brief context on what you are doing in that event, so that we can communicate this event as soon as possible. As for our newsletter and email marketing, currently we have around 200 subscribers. We are also doing implementing a campaign to obtain more subscribers, because when the AI for Europe project took over the platform, we had to start from zero due to GDPR aspects. So we are currently trying to increase this number. And we encourage you once more to, through the online form, make a request to have your project and the results of your project featured in this newsletter, because we have a section dedicated for European funded projects in our newsletter. So we have a space for you there to promote your results, your news. And anytime you need a more personalized or customized communication, you can ask us so through the online form, and we can also create specific email marketing campaigns. As for the press releases, so the contacts with the media, we have a database of almost 6,000 journalists from the AI sector. So we can make this distribution of your press releases through this database. What we ask for is the content of this press release, because it's a more detailed content. So the person that is sharing this request probably can provide us with more details. So we only request the content, and then we are able to revise it, to adapt it, to make it more media friendly, and then to distribute it among our database. Of course, we believe that a successful media coverage, for a successful media coverage, there's the need to establish close media relations, and this type of support AI on Demand is not able to provide, because we're only able to do this mass communication among our database. So we encourage you to establish and to create one-on-one proposals with the media. We also do not guarantee media coverage, but of course we believe that with the number of journalists that we have under this database, usually we have good results. And we also do not provide clipping services, in the sense that if there are news that will be done following this press release distribution, we are only able to track them manually. As for event promotion or organization, you are also able to request for support from our side for the promotion of your event or for the organization of your event. So in the case of promotion, we can act as promotional partner and help you make the communication of your event through our communication channels, or we can be the co-organizers of your events and provide support in defining the agenda of your events, in identifying speakers and experts, not only among our community, among the AI on Demand community, but also among our team. So the AI for Europe project and the other projects that are managing the platform have big teams behind, and you can count on them to be speakers or to participate in your events. And we are also able to organize joint events or sessions with you. So for example, the previous year, we organized an event with the ICT 49s, that cluster of projects, and we provided support on finding the venue, on setting up the agenda, of identifying speakers. So we really provided all the support that we could, and you can request for the same support from our sites for your own events. And finally, you can also use the platform itself for dissemination purposes. So currently our platform has almost 1,000 users. We have a really big number of visits per month, and we have also reached a high number of countries so far. So we also encourage you to use the platform as a way of disseminating your projects. Currently, we are doing that mainly through a section of the platform called the community. The community is suffering some improvements, some changes, so you might see that section of the platform changing in a couple of months. But for now, you are able to upload, well, first of all, to create your project's profile specifically under a section called Contribution Gateway. And from there, you can upload your news, your events. Right now, I would focus mainly on the news and events because, as Rafael was mentioning, you have the metadata catalog to upload all of your other resources. But everything that is more connected with the community, you can do so through this community section of the platform. And the users can also follow your project's profile. And by following your project's profile, they will be notified on any uploads that you make, or in case you send over a newsletter. And I'm mentioning a newsletter because it's also possible to build a newsletter from the AI on Demand platform. So for those projects that have a profile in the AI on Demand platform, you are able to create your own newsletter, and this newsletter will be distributed right away to all the users that follow your project's profile. And finally, we have also a tool called Website Builder. This is an open source licensed WordPress theme. So for those of you that are still in the process of creating a website, if you haven't still created a website for your project, then we provide you with a template, with a theme that you can use to build your website. You don't need to do it from scratch. You just have to adapt it to your project's visual identity. And this website will have connectors to link specific content that you as a project upload under the AI on Demand platform to your own website. So I'm just going to show you real quickly, well, to start, an example of a project that has used this WordPress theme. So as you can see, you don't need to do everything from zero. There's already a tool that we provide that enables you to create a good website. And now, how to create a project profile and how to upload your news and events. Well, when you are in the homepage of the platform, if you click, I don't know if you
Joanna,
can
sorry.
see this.
We still see the presentation, so I don't know if you're
Wait.
showing the website. Yeah.
Okay, so probably, can
Yeah,
you see it now?
now we can
Yes?
see it. Yeah.
Okay. So this was the example of a project that I was mentioning that uses our website builder tool. So as you can see, this is a normal website. The only thing is that the project team had to adapt it according to the project's visual identity, but you don't need to develop any code. There's everything here for you to use. And I was showing you now how you can upload your news and events. So when you are in the homepage of the platform, if you click community, you are directed to this section of the platform. This still links to the former version of the platform, but as I mentioned, we are currently doing some improvements on it. But just to explain that through the contribution gateway, you are then able to create your project's profile and submit your news and your events. So for example, Going here, oops, to an example of a project profile. Once more, using Ayacuitas as an example. We have here the project's profile that you can follow. And in this case, Ayacuita still hasn't uploaded any content, but you can see here the events, the news that this project has uploaded under the platform. So going back to the presentation, if you have any general questions or doubts about how to use the platform to disseminate your projects, you can contact us through the info email, but also if there is any live coverage that you would like us to do from your events, from your activities, you can then send us images and some context and contents through our communications email. And that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joanna. And indeed, I think these channels of communication and dissemination that are offered by AI on demand can support your EU-funded projects to have a wider impact and visibility in the greater AI ecosystem. So feel free to use the contacts that we shared and be in touch with us. So now I would like to give the floor to Claudio. Claudio will share about another initiative that aims at supporting the development of the EU AI ecosystem. So Claudio, please.
Yeah, thank you. Let me try to share my screen, and I hope it will work immediately.
Yes, we can see it.
So I'm here because I am part of the Vision project. And one of the things we're doing is, together with 9 networks of excellence, we are creating an overview of the AI research and innovation activities of organizations like the people that are participating now. We're trying to create this map, and we've been doing this since last year. You can see the 9 networks here. We're also doing this together with the European Commission. They are closely involved in this process. And the goal of our project is to develop a prototype that can show what it can do and that can help in moving forward with a broader community. We've been using a survey to collect data, and we've had a process to agree on AI topics, research topics. The survey opened in 2023. We now have approximately 230 results so far out of 330. So that's a pretty nice response rate. You can see here a little bit is that 3 new projects joined. So we had a bigger pool of organizations to ask. If you look at what kind of organizations they are, it's mainly universities. A quarter is RTOs, so research organizations, and the rest consists mainly of large enterprises and SMEs. And that also reflects really well the type of consortia that you see in Horizon projects, I think. So it makes sense that we see this. If we look at the spread across Europe, it's pretty well spread. Of course, a couple of countries are more represented than others. So Germany, Italy, France, we see a lot. So this is in general the data set that we've been collecting. But I wanted to focus mainly on how to use the tool and what we're going to do after this. Because you can there are 2 ways you can engage with us. So the first one is you go to the link, and I can paste it in the chat afterwards. And if you go to the link, you come here. So this is the tool as it is now. It's a prototype. But if you type this in your search bar, you can also get here. And I wanted to show basically the ways you can use it. So the first one is the topics I mentioned. So you can, if you click here, you can find the topics that these 9 networks of excellence agreed on. What we can do is we'll navigate it to find, for instance, a certain research term that we want to use or an application area. But we can also search by keywords. So imagine I want to do something with, let's say, accountability. Well, maybe you already see it in the screen. But if I type here accountability, I can find all organizations. If I click on it, I can find the organizations that are researching this or in some capacity are working on this on a specific research topic. And I can do the same for application areas like, let's say, personalized learning. So that's one use case for finding a topic, finding an organization by keywords. And of course, the first view is the map itself. So if you go to the map, well, you can actually see that it took what I just typed in, took it to this view. But when you first go to the map, you see this. The idea is that it really shows you the organizations that are in this research and innovation ecosystem. So it's really visually oriented. Down here, you can see the networks. So you can also show which organizations and which countries are involved in these different networks. And here on the left, you can see the research topics. So we can search by topic again. So I just did accountability, but imagine we want to find a certain type of classification. Here, extreme classification. Then in one view, we suddenly see the organizations that work on this topic. If we then want to find out, for example, we have a company in mobility. We want to know who are focused on this as well. It can help with filtering. So this is one way you can use it. You want to know about a certain topic, who are working on it. Then the other one is a more aggregated version, the statistics tab. And here you can see both research topics and application areas. So for instance, you can see which ones are overrepresented, which ones are underrepresented. And well, in this case, you can see, for example, computer audition is in our sample. It's not a huge topic. There are organizations that work with it, but it's not as, let's say, as popular as machine learning, for example. And you can say the same about application areas. And another thing that in Europe, there's a lot of focus on is from the lab to the market. The idea of being able to see for a research topic, for AI, how it's being used in fundamental research, applied research, but also in actual development. And we can do this as well. We can see that for these topics, we can see the difference between applied research, fundamental research, application activities, or consultancy. And I think what's useful for, let's say, general audience would be, imagine I want to know about a specific capability like computer vision, and I need consulting. I can click on this, and it can provide me with a list of organizations that I could reach out to. I can also click on organization and get more information about them. So, for instance, let's say the Institute of Communication and Computer Systems. I can see all the specific research topics they work on and the person I can reach out to. In this case, the department director, can find their website. So it's this is basically a first version of what we want to do. I think for the demonstration, this is good. And now I wanted to go to the next steps. So there are two next steps. First one is we have set up a joint topic group in ADRA together with University College Cork, a partner in the Innovate platform consortium, and the University of Twente, who are involved in ADRA-E. Our goal is to make sure that we don't have these several concurrent mappings, but that we actually join forces to create one. And that's why we dedicated a joint topic group in ADRA for this. The second way is that we are trying to figure out how to integrate this in the AI on-demand platform. Actually, with among others, we're talking to Rafael to figure out how to integrate it, to make sure it lives on and we can actually build forward on this after the first networks of excellence are over. I think I'll leave it here, unless there are specific questions about the topic group. If you're a member of ADRA, you can become a part of the topic group. You can stay involved in the discussion. And I'm always keen to learn more from what you'd like to share. So feel free to reach out. I'll type my email in the chat as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claudio. Yes, please feel free to share the link of the map in the chat. This is a very good tool to identify resources for the different projects you might need, the potential partners, and other collaboration opportunities. So feel free to have a look. Is there a way that organizations can be mapped, let's say?
Yeah, we get this question a lot. So currently, this is really a prototype pilot. So it's been scoped to be just the organizations that are in these networks of excellence and their Horizon projects. But for the next step, so this is what we're trying to develop with the other topic group, we do want to broaden it to organizations not just outside of AI, so also data and robotics focused, but also businesses. So now it's really, as you saw in the pie chart, it's really research oriented. It's also supposed to be broadened to other organizations.
That is amazing. So somewhere in someone in the chat mentions that they would be interested to join the ADRA joint topic group. So feel free to share your email here, Claudio, and then they can get in touch with you. In the meantime, if there are any other questions for my colleague Joanna, unfortunately, Rafael couldn't stay until the end, but if there are questions for him on the technical side, I will note them and we'll follow up after this meeting. So feel free to write in the chat or in the questions box. If not, in the meantime, I would like to share another poll. Let me see. Okay, about your interest in the AI on demand platform. So I would like to launch this poll now, where we would like to know what on AI on demand platform, which of the service interests you the most. So there are three options: using the technical infrastructure to develop project results, using the technical infrastructure to upload project outputs, or using the communication channels of the platform to share project news. So this will be very important for us to know, because this will help us focus our efforts in developing different parts of the platform. Feel free to share your opinion. I'm going to leave it on for a bit more. In the meantime, like I mentioned, feel free to use the email addresses that we shared here to be in touch with us. Soon we will share more news about how you members of the communities could have a more active participation to, let's say, the strategic direction of the AI on demand platform. So we will share this in our newsletter in a bit. Okay, we have 22 replies out of 25 participants. And it looks like the most interesting service on AIoD is to use the technical infrastructure to upload project results. Thank you very much for your reply. I would say I don't see any questions in the chat. I don't see any questions in the Q&A box. Like I mentioned earlier in the chat, we will share the slides and the recording. So if you're interested to review the information that was shared, you'll have the opportunity to do that. In the meantime, if there are no other questions or any other information to be shared, we can close the webinar here. Thank you all very much for your participation, and we hope to stay in touch with you because, of course, you are very important elements for AI on demand and overall for the AI ecosystem. And we want to build this community together. Thank you very much for your participation and have a nice afternoon.